News 46 is brought to you by Golden Casino Group, where you'll always find great fun, good food, and fantastic entertainment, all at Gold Town, Lakeside, and the Pahrump Nugget. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight on News 46, a $9 million road project begins soon on Highway 160.
Hope Cancer Care has expanded their services.
And the Shadow Mountain Community Players hold 2 more shows. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Zach Reiner and Unette Gentry. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell. News 46. Local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Thursday, February 16th, 2017. I'm Zach Reiner.
And I'm Unette Gentry for News 46.
CEO of Valley Electric Association Tom Husted says that there's a holdup in Washington that has caused a delay in the completion of the transmission line sale.
So as you know, Valley Electric entered into a binding agreement to sell its 230 kV assets to Grid Alliance, and that sale is proceeding forward. Right now we're caught up in some of the changes that are happening in Washington, D.C. When Valley Electric then, the sale was approved to move forward by the members, then we had a number of agreements that we needed to seek approval on. The first was the California ISO, the grid operator, and the California ISO Board of Governors approved that sale. And then they also, their member owners, or the other operators within the grid, also approved that. Then there was a number of filings that went before the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, FERC, and there was about 12 of those filings that went in. Many of those have been approved, but now we're caught up in a lot of the change that's going on in Washington, D.C. There are 5 commissioners that are appointed by the President to serve on the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. At the end of the year, we were down to 3. And then with the change in the presidency, one of them chose to get off, gave 2 weeks notice, and that was prior to our approval then making it through the process. So now we're down to 2 FERC commissioners, so there is not a quorum. And so the sale cannot be approved until there is a quorum of FERC commissioners. So now we're caught up in waiting for an appointment by the President on new FERC commissioners so that this can move forward. So that's where we're at with the sale right now, is we're waiting on Washington, D.C. to appoint commissioners and to continue the process. But we have 2 entities, Grid Alliance and Valley Electric, that are moving and doing all that we can to proceed forward with the sale. And of course then, as the sale is approved by FERC, then we will move on to the next step, which is the distribution of the premium payments and the retirement of patronage capital and all those things that Valley Electric is going to have the opportunity to do. I guess I would remind everybody that one of those they're already achieving today, and that was the rollback or the reduction in rates back to the 2010 level.
Does it look like there's going to be an appointment soon on the board?
I can't say, but I do know that the President is working on making those appointments, and obviously this is a very important position. Those FERC commissioners not only have jurisdiction over transmission electric assets, but also gas assets. And so we have the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission that has oversight over many installations and many business dealings across the United States. And so we do need that position filled, and they know that position needs to be filled. So I'm sure that, it's another one of those positions that we'll hear about shortly.
And I'm sure they're getting a lot of pressure from a lot of different entities.
Absolutely.
Is that the final hurdle?
Really it is. That's the final hurdle, because we've had time to work through and receive all the other regulatory approvals and then all the other things that need to be done.
And so everybody's enjoying that rollback on their rates right now. And then, do you know anything about the capital credit retirement right now?
Okay, well, that will be done then after closing also. So once we see FERC approval, then we'll have the closing, and then that'll allow us to make the premium payment of $579 to each member, and then also the special retirement patronage distribution.
You'll keep us posted?
We will.
The Nevada Department of Transportation is undertaking $8.7 million in highway improvements right here in Nye County. Plans call for 14 miles of mill and overlay along State Route 160 from East Basin Avenue to just north of Bella Vista here in Pahrump. Mill and overlay is a street maintenance technique where a large machine grinds away deteriorated layers of pavement and then replaces it with new asphalt for a rejuvenated driving surface. Construction requires almost 46,000 tons of asphalt, or enough blacktop to pave nearly 7,000 average-sized driveways. Other improvements include storm pipe drainage, hydro seeding, and flattened roadside shoulders in some areas for safer turnouts. Meanwhile, 2 flashing arrow signs powered by solar panels are being added to Johnny Curve on North Highway 160, as well as high-friction surfaces in order to prevent skidding through improved traction. Finally, the turn pocket at U.S. Highway 95 and State Route 160 is being widened and lengthened for a safer, more efficient highway-to-highway connection. Construction begins next month with anticipated completion this fall.
Well, definitely some needed improvements there. Well, across the nation, thousands of protesters took part in Day Without Immigrants events, from marching to boycotting jobs to keeping kids out of school, in the hopes of underscoring how migrants form the lifeblood of the country's economy and society. Many shops and restaurant owners in Atlanta, Detroit, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Austin, Texas, Las Vegas, and other major U.S. cities joined the protest by closing their doors in a show of solidarity with their workers. In many of the cities, immigrants marched to demonstrate their role in the nation's economy. Coming on the heels of roundups of undocumented immigrants nationwide, organizers urged legal residents as well as undocumented ones to participate in the boycott in response to President Trump's plan to build a border wall, install a temporary immigration ban on nationals from certain Muslim-majority nations, boost patrol agents to curb illegal immigration, and strip federal funding from sanctuary cities that limit cooperation with immigration agents. Today, some results of the petition were delivered to the U.S. House of Representatives from a campaign that's urging Congress to impeach President Donald Trump. The web-based petition called ImpeachTrumpNow.com has gained hundreds of thousands of signatures.
Well, we'll tell you about more help for cancer patients and others in need of care right here in Pahrump after the break.